You know, honestly, she comes to Bells every single year, the heavy favorite. The way she surfs, Ronnie, at Bells is just seamless. I love the fact that she can hold that bottom turn for so long. As soon as that tricky Bells bowl stands up, she's ready to pounce.
My prediction for this heat?
Leave it alone, Ronnie. Leave it alone, dude.
I actually think this is going to be a good battle. Keely Andrew, she's a rookie, full-time surfing on the CT in 2016. She already had a solid round one victory up on the Gold Coast. Let's see what she can bring to the water on this occasion. And the other competitor we're going to be seeing in the lineup is Brisa Hennessy, the 16-year-old Super Grom from Hawaii. And here she is now, bringing this one right through to the inside. A lot of flat water to deal with at Bells, but you have to give these waves a chance. And Brisa is going to finish this one right on the beach. And a solid snap to finish from the grommet from Hawaii, and chasing her down the line, her hero, Carissa Moore, with a big, clean, swooping carve. And she goes to that rail once again. You can tell just from those first couple of heats that there's a bit of bump on the face, and at times these sections are really hard to read, but Carissa let go of a couple of nice manoeuvres out the back there. Should be a decent start to the heat for the three-time world champion. Keely Andrew also looking to get a score on the board early on. The 22-year-old racing with speed down the line. Smooth little cut down to get started. And she'll be looking for a solid finish here. Doing well with those flat sections. But Ross, at Bells, you're really just looking to string together those manoeuvres to find that critical section to hit on the inside. And on that occasion, you'd have to say that Keely maybe missed that opportunity at the end of that ride.
If you miss it, it's over. So scoring potential, you have to be ready when the bowl kind of stands up. So I would say out of the three, Brisa, nice tag there to open that wave. But there's all that fat bump there through the midsection at Bells, which is common. So you have to kind of be patient and wait for that end section, Ronnie. But, you know, all three of these waves, to me, felt like warm-ups for them, and just kind of getting their feet stuck in the wax, making sure they just kind of finish off a score. But, you know, that's not a bad start for Brisa. Here we go. Smooth hack there from Carissa. And you can see just a skip right there, and that was not part of the plan for Carissa. Just because that fin skipped a little bit, it put her off. Threw her on edge just a little bit, so just kind of a shaky finish there. But this opening carve here, I believe this was the very first maneuver. Love how she leans that front shoulder in to get that extra torque. Now she's going to unwind and open up. There's the leverage. Such a smart surfer. You know, we all think about talent, style, how it's just a natural ability, but she puts so much effort into her body and how she utilizes that to get that maximum leverage through that rail work.
And Carissa looking to keep busy here. A smaller wave, but a cleaner face. And a bit of experience maybe coming into play here at Bells Beach for Carissa, as she absolutely unloads and drifts that tail through that snap, but takes a fall.
Happy, you know, I made that opportunity.
Pretty exciting stuff, though. I mean, considering what you showed up and saw this morning to what it is now, how do you prepare for something like that?
Just being confident with equipment, I think, and just grinding it out, just going out every day and, you know, just having fun and not having high expectations.
Because this is a different contest and a real challenge, getting a quiver together that's going to work out here on the bowl and also at Rincon, potentially also over at Winky. But here we go. This is Keely Andrew, the rookie. She has a nice section to work with here. Solid turn in the pocket. Didn't overcommit to that maneuver, but it was clean. And she gets a nice little foam climb as well.
You just have to be ready for all types of surf.
So initiating the use of the jet skis in the first round. Doesn't happen too often, but with this long paddle and this building swell, we decided to put them into play, as we see Brisa here just driving into a couple of solid turns on the outside.
Yeah, for sure. Brisa, I'm not sure how many times she's been to Australia, so she's going to be trying to soak in Bells and all the trickery. You know, this wave, it takes a lot of time to get used to it, a lot of water time. to try to sort of unlock the code that is bells. So it would be interesting for her to see. She has to learn on the fly, straight away up against Carissa Moore. That is no easy task. And Keely Andrew, I really like the way she always tends to pivot off the bottom running. I like that, how she gives herself that steep angle of attack. We saw a bit of that on the Gold Coast. But you're right, she didn't go at that first section 100%, and that'll affect her score for sure.
It's like going out into the surf and just saying to yourself, I'm going to do an air.
Right.
Or something. It just never works out. You always miss good sections, as we see Carissa. Let's just pay close attention to her read on this wave. Just really takes her time on the outside. She's waiting for the wave to do its thing, and then she'll commit to some bigger turns. Bringing this one right through to the inside now. She's going to lean on that back foot. And again, so a lot of downtime on that ride, but when the opportunities were there, Carissa was arriving at the lip at the perfect time.
Yeah, 100%. And you could tell, Carissa didn't surf poorly on that wave. She pieced together some nice maneuvers, but you could tell that she's competing. She was trying to finish that wave off.
The 3 world titles, an amazing amateur career. And she is starting to put together a pretty decent lead here. She kicked off with a 7.5, waiting for the numbers to drop on this ride.
Such a tricky wave. It took a lot for her, to kind of wipe that speed off at the beginning of that wave and fade, and then commit to that top turn. That is irritating to do as a surfer. You want to just get right to work. But again, I give her a lot of credit for just sticking with it, trying to bag, something better than that 4.83. So very smart competing here from Carissa. As a free surfer, she would have been irritated with this wave. She possibly would have even kicked out right there. But she said, you know what? I can get at least 1.5 decent turns done on this wave, and kind of turn the vice grip on my fellow competitors.
7.6 for Carissa on her last wave, and Brisa now needs a 9.33 to get into the lead. Keely Andrews, she's got a reboot. She needs 2 waves and a combination of 15.11 from those 2 scores to get herself into a position to jump directly into the 3rd round.
Yeah, so she lives in Kailua, which is on the east side of Oahu, but it's only about a 20 to 30 minute drive to Kualo's, and that's her local spot in town. Really fun, rippable wave, and there's a ton of groms there. So it's kind of where Carissa Moore cut her teeth. I loved watching Shane Powell surf. I was always amazed at how much power he got off the bottom. Shane Herring as well, but Tom Curran and Potts for sure had a big influence in our generation.
This is Carissa Moore looking to improve her lead by bettering a 7.5. She's going to go vertical on this section, drift that tail, and somehow hang on. This wave's starting to fizzle out, so Carissa lets it go. And this is now the wild card in the event. Brisa Hennessy, who's surfing with a lot of aggression at the moment. Maybe missing a little bit of the size that Carissa has in her turns, but the 16-year-old is certainly on the attack as she brings this one through to the inside. I love that she's just putting everything into every turn. It's helped her round up a couple of pretty decent numbers as we see Keely Andrew, who's back in 3rd spot. Keely chasing something just at least in the 6-point range to break combination and give herself a chance with 1 wave to turn this heat in the final stages.
Yeah, right now it's looking pretty tough for Keely, being that she's comboed. She needs 2 brand new waves, but you don't want to send out any signals to your fellow competitors that are all watching right now that you are an easy target. So even if you're sitting down there in 3rd, you want to put together at least 1 really solid wave to show that everyone, hey, I'm going to perform. You don't want me in a heat. So, I don't think this wave's really going to factor in too much in terms of getting a win over Carissa. But again, she's just looking for that little edge. I like that little zap carve that Keely has. Again, I really admire how she has a lot of speed and zip through those turns.
Keely had a couple of opportunities, a few opportunities last year to surf in CT events as an alternate. She had a quarter-final over in Brazil, but she hadn't surfed here at Bells Beach prior to this event. And I think Keely's style really suits a more punchy, hollow wave, especially with the snap. She has that really lightning fast transition off the bottom. I think she's still working this wave out at this point in time, but Brisa Hennessy, this is her last ride, and I don't think it's going to help her cause too much Ross. She needed to better a 5.77 to narrow the requirement And it looks like it's going to fall well short, so she'll still be chasing a pretty big number at 9.33 in this third heat of the first round, with a couple of decent numbers, a 7.5 and a 7.6. Keely Andrew, she has moved herself up in a second position, but at this stage is still chasing a two-wave total of 15.11.
Well, as I suspected, Carissa went for that nice layback snap, and got the fins free there, so I have a feeling she's fully aware of two solid scores that she's got in the bank. So I like to see her get a little more aggressive. I think that's her plan of attack right now, Rodney.
When you've established a lead like that, Ross, do you love just to go out there and basically free surf the final stages? 6.5 minutes on the clock. Let's see what Brisa Hennessy can do here. Nice first turn. This wave's going to flatten out pretty quickly though. And there won't be too many more points down the line. Might stand up for a solid finish, but Brisa is really going to have to throw everything at this. Little fin drift, gets caught up for a moment, but does finish this wave off pretty well.
I like her style. Shades of Sofia Milanovic there. She's got that low center of gravity, kind of a cool looking front arm there, very stylish. It's always cool to see how everyone surfs so differently on tour. She knows how to surf these difficult, tricky conditions and make the right decisions.
And here's Carissa now, trying to drop that 7.5, but just enjoying herself on these big walls at the moment. Just gliding through these sections. Not even having to put the foot down at this point in time. Just in cruise control. As Keely Andrew has another look out the back. What's the strategy, Ross, once you pick off a wave on the bowl here?
I think for sure, you know, there's a very fine line between being on a shoulder and being too deep. It catches every single person that's ever surfed here off guard. So you have to really have your perfect lineup out here.
Well, 10 seconds remaining, and Brisa gets an opportunity here to track down that 9.33. That first turn is strong. Not a huge wave. As the hooter sounds, the 16-year-old's going to bring this one right through to the inside. Probably aware at this fact that at this point in time that the score's going to be out of reach at 9.33, but it would have felt good to lean into that first maneuver.
For sure. And if I'm Stephanie Gilmore or Sally Fitzgibbons, you know, one of the main draws that might get Brisa in their heat, you know, it's something to be alarmed at. That last snap was really nice.
And Carissa Moore just showing us what she can do when she finds that clean section of water. Beautiful first turn. And just flowing her way through to the shore break. All style as per usual. And a solid round one performance. And moving on through to round three. Still so much more to come in round one. Up next we've got Courtney Conlog, Nikki Van Dyke and Laura Enova.